What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Cracker Crumbs update. Yay! Finally, I have come back. I can do a better rock impression than that, but it's a little late. Don't want to wake up the wife. But I have come back, finally, with a comic book haul. About freaking time. It was going out of my mind. um, but anyway, I have a lot to talk about besides the comic book haul. So it's gonna be a long video. That's why I didn't add the intro, because I'm trying to remake it, make it a little shorter and a little cooler, which is difficult. But who knows? So hopefully soon I'll put up the intro again. But to Dynamic Comic Duo, that's a Mogwai. Moving on. I went to go see actually yesterday. I'll tell you, man, it's crazy. I wanted to watch the Captain Cummings podcast, but I did so much yesterday, and I was up for almost 3 days straight before. I went to the movies with my fiance. We went to go see Wreck-It Ralph, which was really, really cool. I enjoyed it. And when I got home, man, I actually fell asleep sitting up on the couch. I was just out. My fiance was like, I was watching TV. I was blasted. She goes, you didn't even move. She goes, you were just out cold. I was freaking exhausted. And so I missed a lot of stuff. And a package came in the mail, and I didn't even get it because I was zonked out. It's funny because when I opened my eyes Sunday morning, which is it still Sunday? Technically, it's still Sunday. All right, another half hour I got. Today, when I opened my eyes, there was a package in front of me on the table, which I opened. Unfortunately, I know everyone wants to see the unboxing, but I couldn't wait because I wanted to read some of the stuff. And my fiance went out and got me the Amazing Spider-Man, the Target edition with the free bonus disc, which is cool. A little something about Wreck-It Ralph. Let's go into that. Give you a little story because most people like my stories. Wreck-It Ralph, I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was well done. I'm not going to give any away secrets or plots, so don't worry about, getting any spoilers. But it was kind of cool how they made the arcade world to our world. Like, it was kind of like when you play an arcade game, which most people have, and you're looking at the screen, this is not giving away anything, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but on their side, they're looking at us. So, like, it was weird, but it was really, really cool. And they had a lot of really cool cameos. Sonic was a cameo. Kano from Mortal Kombat, Zangief, Bowser, Mega Man. They had so much stuff in there, but it was really cool. So if you like video games, definitely check out the movie. It was awesome. But a story, like I said, I'll tell you. My fiance and I are telling each other that we're getting bad because we just don't want to deal with people anymore. We're getting to the point where we're just like, we went to the last movie I saw with my fiance. We went to go see Men in Black 3. Which was pretty cool. I liked it. But when we were there, of course, there was teenagers there that friggin' just wouldn't shut up. They just wouldn't shut up at all. And people were getting pissed, and my fiance and we never say anything. We just kind of ignore it. We block it out, and we just watch the movie. But it got to the point where it was just so ridiculous that they just wouldn't shut up. They kept walking back and forth up and down the aisle, just getting annoying. My fiance actually finally snapped, and she turned around, and this is a Men in Black. She's like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh my god, because I've never seen her get so pissed. And apologize for the language, but that's pretty much what it was. And I looked at her, I'm like, wow. And she's like, and I was like, oh man. And these kids are like, what? She's like, and she turns around again, she's like, you want to say something? You want to say something? She's cracking her. I was like, oh my god. They shut their mouth and didn't move. And then, like, this old couple in front of us actually turned around and they go, thank you. But Wreck-It Ralph is another one, which is funny because we expected kids to be there, obviously. And we have no problem with kids, just people that are just stupid and they don't know how to deal with anything. And we're sitting there, and it's always funny, no matter wherever we go, whatever movie we go to, it's always something has to happen. I don't know if it's our luck or we're just meant to have this crap. But when you go to a movie, you know how they usually have the 3 aisles? They have like this middle and they have the 2 side aisles that you can sit in. We usually sit on the side because nobody really sits there, which is we're going to have to change our policy because we walk into Wreck-It Ralph. We were like 10 minutes before the previews came on because we were running late. And we get in there, and the whole middle section wasn't full, but, it had some people in there. And the left side had like 1 or 2 people, and the right side where we sat on had like 1 or 2 people. And we sat towards the back, not all the way in the back, but towards the back on the right side. So out of all the seats that are there, what happens? A group of kids come in, and they have to sit right in front of us, and another group comes in and has to sit right in back of us. The whole right side was empty other than like one or two seats like towards the front. So they had to sit directly in front and directly in back of us. I mean, she's like, are you serious? And she's just like looking. I'm like, let it go. Don't worry about it. And we were already prepared that the kids were going to be in there. So we're like, it's a kid movie. What are you going to do? And we're sitting there, and nothing happened. We're watching the movie. It was cool. And, they showed Wreck-It Ralph for the first time. It was big, huge fists. And, of course, this little bastard child in back of us had to pretend that he's Wreck-It Ralph and just starts, I'm Wreck-It Ralph, and starts bashing the front seat, and our seats. And my fiance's like, Jesus Christ, and he's wailing on it. Then he's kicking it. And my fiance turns around, she's like, she looks at the parents, and the guy goes, what? He's Wreck-It Ralph. And she's like, are you serious? She goes, you're going to let your kid just bash the hell out of the seat? She goes, that I'm sitting in? She goes, at least if he does it to the seat, a couple rows down, I don't care, because no one's sitting in it. You're hitting my seat, she's going like this like every 2 seconds. And the guy's like, well, don't tell me how to manage my children. She's like, oh my God. And he just snap. And then this lady across from her, she's like, can you shut the fuck up? Again with the language, but, that's what happened. And then this guy in back of us got into a fight with this lady, and it was a huge mess. I'm just like, oh my God. And it was funny because the usher actually came in and kicked them all out. I'm like, wow, man. But fun. Anyway, let's take a look at Spider-Man real fast before I do my haul. This is the Blu-ray combo pack. My fiance was going to get me the special edition one that had the lizard, like little figure and the Spider-Man figure. But I was like, because I was telling her, she's like, well, which one would you want if you could get it? Because my birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. 2 weeks, actually. Right after Thanksgiving. Yay, Black Friday. A lot of fun. She's like, which one would you want? And she's like, maybe I'll get it for your birthday. And I was like, well, the limited edition one, I don't know what it has on it. But it had these cool little Spider-Man figurines and stuff like that. And I looked at it, I was like, it's no real difference other than the figurines. And, it's no big deal. I usually do get the collector editions of Spider-Man. But I was like, just get the cheaper one because I'm trying to save money. So she got this for me and didn't, she's like, it's not your birthday present, just got it to get it for you. And this is a Target exclusive that actually came with 4 discs. Basically, it's got the Spider-Man Blu-ray. This is the bonus disc you got from Target, which is a Hero Rise bonus disc, which I haven't looked at yet, but it's bonus. Then, of course, the second disc in here is the special features, and then there's the DVD. But I like this movie. A lot of people gave it a lot of shit. They're like, oh, it sucked. It wasn't really cool. It was a crappy movie. I enjoyed it. I think they finally got a lot of stuff right that the other Spider-Mans never got. Like, I was always pissed, like, with the Tobey Maguire one, that they never got his jumping right. The web shooters, the organic webbing, although it does make a lot more sense. If they were going to make it more realistic, like a spider, because that's what they claimed they were doing it for, it would have came out of his stomach rather than his wrist. But let's not get technical. And also, like, his spider sense was kind of right. It kind of wasn't. But, just certain things, I'm just like, But this thing, it was cool. It showed he had the web shooters, which was awesome. A lot of people are like, oh, it wasn't under his, it was poking out. All right, what are you going to do? There's little things you got to take with it. The webbing cartridges were dead on, like they were accurate. That's what they look like in the comic. His spider sense was pretty much spot on. His reflexes, his speed, his jumping, the way he swings on the web, everything was like flat out. His super strength, everything in there, they finally got it right. I loved it. And plus with the first person mode they had on these things, it was cool. I actually felt like Spider-Man. And I'm not a huge fan of Lizard, because I do think in this movie he looked like a giant Mario Goomba. But it was cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool Spider-Man, and I really can't wait to see what they're going to do with the sequel, even though Jamie Foxx is playing Electro. Oh, man. Oh, another lovely thing I heard is Mark Wahlberg is going to be in Transformers 4. Oh, my God. Anyway, I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this I liked. I thought this was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was a cool movie. I like to see how they're going to, like I said, get further into it. So we'll wait and see. Now, one thing you've all been waiting for before I get into my other rant is the comic haul. To see what I've finally got in the mail. This was from Midtown, which is pretty cool. I got a Green Lantern number 14, which is the Rise of the Third Army tie-in. Just a pretty cool looking cover. Justice League is fighting the new Green Lantern, which I haven't had a chance to read this yet. There's a couple that I actually did read, but I haven't got them all yet. Green Arrow number 14 with Hawkman. Just thought it was a cool cover. Batman Detective Comics number 14 with Poison Ivy. Another cool cover. And this one my fiance thought was creepy. but I actually got a chance to read it. It's Legends of the Dark Knight #2, with the Joker on there in the Batman suit. This was a pretty cool book. The first one I liked a lot because there was a lot of different tales. This one kind of focuses on one tale, but I wasn't too thrilled with the art. The art was kind of, to me, it was almost like, I don't know, I'm not going to say sloppy, but it was just, I don't know, I just didn't like it all that much. But Killer Croc looked pretty cool in here. So moving on. I got the Uncanny X-Force #33, the Final Execution Saga. I believe that's Nightcrawler, I hope so. It looks pretty cool. With his swords. This cover I liked a lot. X-Men #38. It's got Domino and Daredevil on the bottom on a roulette wheel. Which I didn't even know that was Daredevil until I was looking. I'm like, what the hell is Daredevil doing on there? I got X-Men Legacy #275, which is the final issue. Very, very cool. Like that cover a lot. Then, of course, I got the final issue of New Mutants #50, the series finale. Figured might as well get all the end ones and then get the first ones. This one was pretty cool because I got this for $1, because I do not have the original, obviously. And I figured, what the hell, I'll get the Marvel Milestone Edition of X-Men #1. This was only 25 cents. Pretty cool. I mean, I've read it a dozen times, but I never actually had. I mean, I have it in the trade paperbacks, but I wanted to get the comic. Figured, what the hell, for $1. Yeah, why not? This was another one that was $1. It's Excalibur Deluxe #85. I just thought the cover was cool. And not bad for $1. I had not even noticed that it was like a robot head. I thought it was like a bubble, but it's actually a robot head because he's Wolverine's elbowing him. It took me a while. I guess I'm getting slow in my old age. These two I actually got a chance to read, which I was kind of disappointed, but I should have expected it. A vs. X Consequences #4, which Hope kind of goes diving into Namor's area looking for her jetpack, and of course there's some stuff with Cyclops. And A vs. X Consequences #5 with Magneto on the cover, which is pretty crazy because, like I said, I did read them, and all the time, like when I was saying in a previous update that Cyclops, took metal filings and made a little satanic-looking symbol and it changed the words. I thought it was magic that was doing it, but I think it was also Magneto, because I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute. I was like, it's metal shavings. He can make it look whatever he wants, and basically in this, Magneto breaks him. Magneto, Magic, and Danger, I think she's called, the Danger Room computer, break out Cyclops after Cyclops, I guess, has finally had enough, and they break him out. And I was like, all right, that's really how you're going to go with this. They're just going to break him out, and Cyclops at the end puts on his uniform and apparently joins Magneto. And now in the all new X-Men #1 that comes out, apparently they're like the new X-Men, and because Magneto's like, oh, you're going to be hunted, you're going to be a wanted person, and he's like, oh, I'm trying to save the world while I'm being hunted. He goes, what else has changed? And I'm like, alright. So it was kind of, like I said, I liked the first couple issues. Like, a lot of people didn't like them, and I was just getting them because I was like, I really want to see what happens to Cyclops, because you're kind of on the edge to see, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Is he going to die? What are they going to do? And again, like, this was just kind of like, the ending was like, really? That's what you're going to do? Okay. But like I said, most people, I should have expected it, but what can you do? I got A plus X #1. Excuse me, with the Wolverine and Hulk. I really don't remember what this was about. I didn't read it yet, but I don't remember what the whole thing was of it. So I gotta get into this. But I also got the variant #1 with Spider-Man. Like the cover. I'm a Green Goblin fan, so anything Green Goblin or Juggernaut I get. I got the Avengers End Times #33. The story's pretty cool, so I'm enjoying it, so that's why I figured to get the other one. Now this one I got a chance to read, which I was a little confused, but this is Iron Man #1. I had gotten the last issue where he was going into space because he says he's just nothing here for him. He wants to try to find the future, whatever it is. Yet in this, he's apparently back from space, and like all these things have gone haywire, like this prototype for, like, I guess like a super soldier kind of thing went nuts, and he has a new suit that he made from Like he's like think of he has it in his briefcase when he's trying to hunt down this super soldier kind of thing, and he's like think of putty. He's like but metal putty or whatever, and it's like think of the T-1000 like where it's like the liquid metal, and that's pretty much what his suit is. He's like it's not as strong as my other armor, but it's just as powerful. But it's confusing because again like in the other one he went to space and they were saying all this stuff that he's going to go do. Yet in this one he's already back and he's I don't know, it's just weird. But the other interesting thing about this is that number 2 comes out. This came out on the 7th of November. Number 2 comes out on the 21st of November, so they're really pumping them out, which is cool and crappy. I mean, it's cool because you don't have to wait to continue on the story, but when it hits your pocket like that with $3.99, you're like, oh crap, another one's coming out in a week. Yeah, it's insane. I got I believe this is the last issue of Thor, the Mighty Thor number 22. I just thought it was a really cool cover. Even though I'm not a huge Thor fan, like I said, I'm going to try to get the end ones and get the beginning ones. Hopefully this is better than the last one, but this is Scarlet Spider number 11, Minimum Carnage Part 4. Very interesting. And this one I found funny. This is Avenging Spider-Man number 14, where they finally brought back the red dinosaur. What was it called? Devil Dinosaur. That was it called. Devil Dinosaur from the Savage Land with Moon Boy. A very, one of those characters you're just like, really? But this was a pretty cool book. It was interesting. I'm taking it as it is. Yeah. I got the Avenging Spider-Man Annual number 1, because I love that cover. I know Mongo Stomptime07 loves the thing, and so I know he picked this one up. But I didn't get a chance to read it yet, so I'll have to take a look. And last but not least, I got Daredevil End of Days number 2. Very cool. Alrighty. One other thing I want to do, like I said, I have to, I made a list, and of course I can't read my own list. But I want to thank one of my new subscribers, Daniel D. Franco. Thanks for subscribing. I'm now up to 116 people. It's pretty damn cool. Captain Cummings, I'm sorry I missed your podcast, man. I know you invited me again, but I zonked out yesterday. I was out cold. And so I'll have to watch your stuff, but I was thinking, I'll be on it, but I was like, I'm just out cold, man. Literally out cold. Walking Dead, I got a chance to watch tonight, which was just friggin' awesome. I think this is my favorite season. It's just a really, really cool season. I'm not going to give anything away, because a lot of people haven't seen it yet. A lot of my friends were still talking about Green Arrow with Deathstroke. That was nuts. Alrighty. Let's see, what else do I have here? Ah, yes. Animal Vader 1 actually came up with a very good point. And it's going to kind of go into what I'm going to rant about in a second. Because it really is getting confusing. But I'm going to take a sip of my water here. My throat's been bothering me all week. Anyway. Animal Vader 1, we were talking about in my last update how first appearances and cameos and how they're getting confusing as hell on certain things. Which Animal Vader 1 put up a good point. He said that Marvel Team Up number 141 also claims it's the first appearance of Spider-Man's black suit. Which it's kind of a close thing, like 252, 141, and then of course Secret Wars number 8. Each one of them came out within like, a couple weeks of each other, or Secret Wars number 8 came out in like a month beforehand, or after, after Amazing Spider-Man. So it's tough, because like, I think it was Captain Cummings was saying it, that he's like, if you go by continuity, then Secret Wars number 8 is the first appearance of the black suit, but if you go by when the book came out, then Amazing Spider-Man is the first appearance of the black suit. And he was saying that in his Overstreet Price Guide, it lists Secret Wars number 8. I think he said number 8 as the first appearance of the black suit, which is funny because, like I said, this is going to kind of go into things, but before I get into the whole thing, is Animal Vader was also saying that the toy companies had a huge thing in with the Secret Wars because they had a problem with Doctor Doom's suit and Spider-Man's, so that's why they changed the costumes, which is true because back in the 80s, toy companies had huge pull on everything because they were the ones that made the money. I mean, the comics, like, they would put out the toys and the kids would go nuts, I want all that stuff, and especially grown-ups, like now, yoink, So, but that was actually a good point. That's one of the other reasons why the costumes were changed, because the toy company, like, oh, we want to make, this. But anyway, with Captain Cummings, we were saying, like, Overstreet Price Guide, how they list Secret Wars #8 is the first appearance of Spider-Man. His black suit, I mean, first person. Losing. Another funny thing is, I was telling him the same thing. Like, I have an overstreet price guide from 1990 that said that Secret Wars #8 was the first appearance of the black suit. Then I had one from 91 where it says that 252 Amazing Spider-Man was the first appearance of the black suit. Then one from 94 claims that Marvel Team-Up 141 is the first appearance of the black suit. So every year the overstreet price guide came out, it would change. And that's kind of the same thing with this that I'm going to go into. Because it's just really confusing the hell out of me, and even my friends we're trying to figure it out. We're like, this is just insane. How you clarify a first appearance or a cameo or what each thing is. So, like I said, it's gonna be a long video, but hopefully it's gonna help, and hopefully it'll straighten myself out. Originally, I used to consider cameos as so like someone in the shadows, like Venom. Like in number 298, you don't see Venom. You know of him. You don't really know who he is. You're just kind of like somebody just pushed Spider-Man on the tracks. That's it. You don't know who it is. In 299, you actually see Venom on the last page of the book. So I always used to consider that a cameo too. I'm like, because he's not really doing anything, but technically it's not a cameo. It's his first appearance because you actually see him in all his glory on the last page. That's him. And whereas 300 was his origin, how he became Venom, and you see obviously more of him and you see a full story. Some people consider 299 to be his cameo because he doesn't do anything. You just see him on the end of the page, the last page of the book, and like they don't say he's Venom. They just simply he's like, "Hi, honey, I'm home," and that's it. Like you don't know who he is. You don't know his name's Venom. You don't know anything that he's Eddie Brock. You don't know a damn thing. And then 300 would be his first appearance because everything has come together. Like now you know he's Venom. Now you know he's Eddie Brock. Now you know all this stuff. Which makes sense in a way, it really does. Same thing, which I'm going to get into, is with Gambit. Gambit is another one that's getting a little crazy. For me, when Gambit came out, this was always the one that I knew this was Gambit's first appearance. I'm like, Uncanny X-Men 266 is the first time Gambit came around. Then I went out and got X-Men annual number 14 when I was a kid. I didn't even know Gambit was in this. Didn't have a clue. I just got it because it was the X-Men. And I had seen Gambit on one of the pages where I'm like, oh my god, I was like, it's Gambit. But I didn't know Gambit in this. I knew him from this. So like I'm like, oh, there's a cameo. That's how they're going to bring him to the X-Men. Which I'm going to show you. Because like I said, it's gonna make sense in a minute here. Because if you read the entire book, which give me 1 second. Bear with me. I should have this ready, but I did not. Alright. In the entire book, if you look at it's page 15, you see Storm and Gambit. Can't see him too well, but there he is. On page 15, he's going down into the sub-basement of the X-Mansion with Storm. Then Gambit, obviously, Cable kind of attacks them because he doesn't know it's Storm and Gambit. So you really don't, you kind of see Gambit's back in here. And then you see the other page up here where Gambit's in right there. And they don't say much other than Storm's like, this is Gambit, I met him, I brought him back to the X-Men, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much all you see of Gambit. That's it. So now if you read, like I said, with the Overstreet price guides, they claim that this is the first appearance of Gambit. Because this came out before this. Now, if you go by continuity, this is before this. So it's really a real pain in the ass on what to clarify a cameo or a first appearance or whatever it is. I mean, also a cameo, it could be, like I said, like a guest star, like when Wolverine guest stars in another book, like the Hulk, which like with his first appearance. It's another one. If you look at some of the Overstreet price guides, like I said, King Joe was right, 180 is Wolverine's first appearance because he's on the end page of 180, whereas 181 is more popular than 180 because everyone thinks this is his first appearance, even though it's really his origin and first full story of Wolverine. Which is funny because if you look at certain price guides, like I said, 1990, the one I had, they said that this is Wolverine's first appearance. In a 93 price guide, it claims that 180 is his first appearance. And then one that I got in 2000, it claims that 180 and 181 is his first appearance. So both books are Wolverine's first appearance. So my question to everyone out there is, what would you technically consider a first appearance? Is it something where you first see the character, which makes sense? The first time you see somebody, that's their first appearance. Or the first time that they're actually mentioned as something, like Gambit, this is his first appearance, and Storm mentions him, this is Gambit, blah, blah, blah. But you know nothing about him in this. So if you went by this instead of this, you wouldn't know a damn thing what Gambit could do or what he doesn't do. Like in this one, which is another funny thing that people don't even know. When Gambit was introduced in this, he never used his trademark playing cards. And the other funny thing is he didn't charge stuff through his hands, he charged stuff through his eyes. Which a lot of people were saying that's why it makes everyone thought that he was related to Cyclops in some way. Because if you read this book, whenever he charges something, it shoots energy out of his eyes into the object, and then it gets charged and he throws it. What he used most in the book are the 3 books that were his cameo. They're claiming was 265, because you kind of see Gambit in the shadows. So again, that's what's confusing. But what he used mostly in the 3 books that he was in were throwing spikes. He would shoot the energy out of his eyes and then throwing spike, and then throw the spike and it would explode. But again, like I said, this is a long ass video. But what do you consider, first appearance? Like I said, it's very, very tough nowadays, especially like if you go by the price guides. They mention something every year; it's always changing. So would you consider this Gambit's first appearance, or would you consider this Gambit's first appearance? Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be here all week. But it's the same thing with Spider-Man, like the black suit. What do you consider his first appearance? If you don't go by price guides, or if you don't go by continuity, what do you go by? It's really confusing, because, like I said, when I was a kid, this was Gambit's first appearance. Secret Wars #8 was Spider-Man's first appearance in the black suit. But apparently we're all wrong. Who knows? And again, when I was a kid, this was Wolverine's first appearance. But it's crazy. I think it really gets your head. It's like the Matrix. You're like, oh. Anyway, this is a long enough video. I hope you enjoyed my lovely ranting, and maybe it'll confuse the hell out of you, or maybe it'll help down the road. Good times. But anyway, if you like what you see, please hit the little like button. If you really like what you see, you can subscribe to me. And do it for the kitty. Kitty doesn't know what a first appearance is. But anyway, I shall leave you all with besides I tell you my quote, I should be getting more comics, hopefully. Excuse me, not next week, but the week after, because next week they're coming around, and of course they're going to mail them to me afterwards, so I ordered a lot, though, so I guess we'll see. But anyway, I leave you with my quote. It's not the size of your man cave that matters, it's what you have in it.